welcome back to the Racing Mindcast, the show to help athletes slow down their mind and to race past their limits. I'm Chris Haig.
I'm Morgan Bickenbach Davies.
And this week we are going to be covering intuitive eating. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of our Year of Fear, starting on September the 11th and going for that week, I'm going to be eating intuitively.
And what does that mean?
So, what does that mean? So intuitive eating, and I'm going to pull up a definition from Wikipedia here.
Oh, good. So it's really accurate.
Note to all of my students out there, never ever use Wikipedia.
Yes.
But
Do as I say, not as I do.
exactly. So if you are a formal student of mine or a future student of mine, don't use Wikipedia.
Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home. But anyway, it's intuitive eating's gotten has been in. I would say it's come to prominence over the past. It's always been around.
It's very sexy right now.
But it's very sexy right now, especially in the bodybuilding community, the running community, and Instagram, and also in the eating disorder and disordered eating recovery community. And I know I've dealt with nutritionists in before who have encouraged intuitive eating to help me deal with kind of the emotions that I deal with coming back from an eating disorder. And what it means, and this is the definition, it's a nutritional philosophy based on the premise that becoming more attuned to the body's natural hunger signals is a more effective way to attain a healthy weight rather than keeping track of amounts of energy and fats in foods. It's a process that is intended to create a healthy relationship with food, mind, and body, making it a popular treatment for disordered eatings and eating disorders. So intuitive eating goes by many names, including non-dieting or non-diet approaches. And then it goes on to, in essence, say that there are no forbidden foods, quote unquote, or no guilty foods on intuitive eating.
Yeah, the moralization of food is the thing that they're trying to get away from. Is that?
Yes, exactly.
Philosophy.
And I'm all for that.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But what scares me about intuitive eating is losing control. So this, in the studies, the scientific studies that have been done, and there's actually a researcher, I think out of Utah. Let me pull this up. So a professor out of Utah named Stephen Hawks, who's a professor of health science at Brigham Young University, used intuitive eating to help him lose weight. And he actually didn't go into this self n equals 1 study to lose weight, but he ended up losing weight. He lost 50 pounds off intuitive eating. Now, I don't know Stephen Hawks' full story. I don't know if he suffered from eating disorder before, but he lost 50 pounds, and he's 5'9" and dropped down to 165 pounds, all through intuitive eating. And so he, in his study that he conducted on himself, he just ate what he felt like. So that could be vegetables, that could be fruit, that could be ice cream. And he ate only when he was hungry. And when he says hungry, he made sure that it wasn't emotional hunger, meaning his hunger was coming from nervousness or stress or anxiety. It wasn't situational hunger, meaning you're around people who are eating, so you absorb their hunger. And it wasn't it was based solely on his own hunger cues.
Right.
So what scares me here is me taking this as my inner psychology, taking this as a license to eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
And
no holds barred.
No holds barred. And that scares me. It scares me not to track that, and it scares me to be that in tune with my body, because I don't know if I'm at a stage where I can trust my body, because I think intuitive eating is all based around how much or how well you recognize your body cues, and I'm not sure if I'm at that stage or even how to develop that. What's your take?
Well, I have two issues with it. Things, because I do have an eating disorder and probably always will, and it's something that I manage like an addiction. I know that my intuition is out of whack, because if I went on my intuition to eat, I wouldn't eat. So if someone says to me, just, listen to your body, that assumes that the brain part of the body and the physical part of the body are not connected. So my brain can trick my body into thinking I'm not hungry. I don't feel hunger anymore because I have been, living with anorexia for 14 plus years. So my hunger cues are really, short-circuited. So how do I intuitively eat if I don't feel those cues anymore? So my problem with this being given as a prescription for people who are, going through recovery of an eating disorder, you're basically giving them permission to starve themselves because they're waiting for their cues to come in, and they don't come, and they don't come, and they don't come. So they just figure, okay, I'm not hungry, I won't eat. So I see that as being very dangerous. But for people who binge, it's also a problem because their cues are also out of whack, just in a different dimension. So I find it very simplistic as a model, especially for people with eating disorders. And it really needs to be situational. It really needs to be tailored to the person, because it will work for some people. And it really depends on their relationship with food, their emotions around food. And yeah, this kind of brings me to the second problem I have with it, is that it assumes that your body does, that food is not emotional, that there is no emotional component to food, that food is just, you feel like ice cream, you have ice cream. There's no emotion attached to it. But that's not how people live. That's not how people experience food. We are social creatures that, yes, we need fuel, we need macronutrients, we need micronutrients, but we also have emotions attached to different foods for different reasons, and memories. So it really is disingenuous to say, just listen to your body, because there's a whole bunch going on below the surface that, isn't being given proper due about human beings and the very complex relationship that we all have with food in different dimensions.
Actually, when I was...
End of rant.
when I was going through recovery back in high school, my therapist and I actually tried this, and so after a family session, we decided to do a little experiment, and I was blindfolded at the dining room table, and my parents, they cut up, I forget what we were having, but they cut up my food, and so it was easy for me to just poke the plate, blindfolded, and eat. And they said, just listen to your body, and you can stop whenever you want. So I took the food, took a bite, put my fork down, and said, "I'm done."
Yeah, precisely.
And they looked at me and I think this is a failed experiment. So, but I'm also afraid of going in the opposite direction and saying, "Oh, I feel like Cinnamon Toast Crunch this morning, so I'm gonna have," or I feel like nothing but Quest bars this week. Yeah. So I also think it neglects, and this is getting to kind of the science of the day, it neglects the microbiome of people, because if you are used to eating ice cream and Cinnamon Toast Crunch, then that's what your body, what your intuitive cues are gonna say. I want ice cream, and
your microbiome is used to it and flourishes on it now. So any alteration, your body will feel different, and you might interpret that as something like your microbiome might be revolting against any change. Doesn't mean it's a good thing or a bad thing. It just means it's different. And so you might interpret your body's reaction to that difference as, I just don't I shouldn't eat these foods, when in fact it might be a good change, and you need to adapt to it. So like someone who is not used to eating vegetables because they have their gut bacteria is used to processed foods. They want to incorporate more vegetables, and then they feel bad.
But
physically, they feel bad physically when they start doing it because their microbiome is not used to it.
But that says, going off the microbiome, if you are not used to eating vegetables, there are no shoulds in intuitive eating. There's no what you should eat or what you shouldn't eat. It's what you feel like eating, and stopping when you're eating something when you're hungry, and recognizing your body's cues of, I'm hungry and this is what I'm craving right now. But
who's doing the feeling, your brain or your body?
Your body. But if you're not used to eating vegetables,
right,
it
not
will
gonna
never
want them.
send you the cues
Exactly.
to have vegetables.
Yeah, you're never going to have that intuitive, draw towards vegetables if you've never had them before, because the different components of your body aren't going to feel like it.
In defense of intuitive eating, and this is where I'm excited.
It means well.
It means well, but I think what we can learn from it is slowing down when we're eating, to say
be more mindful.
To be more mindful. So being more conscious when you're eating, being more mindful of what you're eating,
being more aware,
and being also more in touch with the types of hunger. Mm-hmm. I think those are the three main takeaways.
Yeah, I think that might be why why Hawks lost the weight, is because he actually slowed down enough to listen to his body. And for him, assuming he doesn't have any history of an eating disorder, what the problem was with he was doing before was just mindlessly eating.
Right.
So slowing down enough to actually ask yourself, am I hungry, or is this just something I'm doing out of boredom? That was enough for him to lose the weight. That's not the case for everyone.
We also don't know his athletic history, because I know I've gone for hour-long bike rides and gotten home and not hungry at all.
Yeah.
But I know I need to refuel.
Right.
And so I can't rely on my body's... I have to override that.
You have to override your body's feelings at that point. So it doesn't work for all situations, and I think it's important for it to be a responsible implementation, or responsibly given to someone to do. You need to give it that caveat that it's not appropriate for all situations.
So definitely, this is going to be an interesting experiment for a week. I wouldn't say I'm scared shitless, but I'm definitely going into the week with a sense of, how is this going to work?
Yeah.
Uncertainty.
It'll be interesting to see as your spouse if you snap.
Well, you've seen me really. I don't think it's going to be as bad as the current week of no stevia. I think that's definitely an eye opener of a psychological experiment.
You're gonna have to read about that.
You're gonna have to definitely read about that, but you're also gonna have to read about this and see what happens. And I don't expect, nor do I plan on losing weight this week or gaining weight, but we will see.
Hope not. Yeah.
We'll see. I'll definitely be tracking that. Definitely keeping track of it.
Keeping a check on yourself of how your your emotions throughout the day.
That should be also interesting. Seeing the scale versus quote unquote what I intuitively feel like eating.
Right.
That's going to be an interesting correlation. So go on to BraveHeartCanada.com. Check out what how I'm doing on that.
Yeah.
Definitely read the write-up. And if you are an intuitive eater, leave your comments of your experience and how you dealt with it. And your definition of it, because we could be getting this completely wrong thanks to Wikipedia, but definitely let us know in the comments below. Send us an email with your personal experience. We'd love to hear from you. And I think that wraps up part 1, and we will be back in a jiff with part 2, Buy It or Bonk. And we're on to part 2, everyone's favorite section, Buy It or Bonk. And today we are mixing 2 of my favorite things in the whole wide world, cereal and Quest bars.
Jeez.
These are the Quest bars cereal bar. What does the wrapper say?
They're called Beyond cereal protein bars. So I guess they're whey-based cereal. So it kind of those General Mills cereal bars. They kind of look like that. So
let me show the viewers at home, and if you were listening on the podcast, be sure to head over to our YouTube channel to check these out.
Yep.
So you can see the whole shebang. So it looks like a Rice Krispie treat. It has the same texture as a Rice Krispie treat, but is there any wheat in it?
No,
is it just?
It's just whey.
Okay, so it's Whey Krispies.
Kind of, it's like a lot of Whey crisps packed together. And this flavor is chocolate flavor. So, nutritional facts. 110 calories for the whole bar. 4.5 fat. 17 grams of carbs. 7 grams of fiber. 8 sugar. No sugar alcohol. And 12 protein.
Okay. So, the texture is the same as a Rice Krispie treat.
It's very dry.
It's, the same texture as a Rice Krispie treat. It's like a Rice Krispie treat that's packed in.
It has like a drizzle on on the top.
Good chocolate flavor.
It's very Oreo-ish.
Yeah, it has the same. I was right about to say it has the same flavor as the wafers from an Oreo. But I like it. I like the texture. I like
Too much chocolate for me, but
a good chocolate taste. But it tastes like the 100-calorie Oreo packs pressed into a bar. Which I like it.
it's decent. It's pretty dry.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would.
I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. So definitely, I would put it on my buy list.
Because it's chocolate, I'm gonna give it a 6. But texture-wise, I mean, it is what it says it is. So, next up we have So this is the waffle flavor.
Ooh.
And again,
waffle, yeah, it has a maple scent.
Yeah, it smells like maple. I think they also have a cinnamon bun flavor, but we couldn't find it. So this is 110 calories for the bar, 4.5 grams of fat, 17 grams of carbs.
So let me show you all the viewers at home. Got ahead of myself.
6 grams of fiber, 8 grams sugar, no sugar alcohols, that they list anyway, and 12 grams of protein again. So exactly the same thing, just a different flavor. And it also has the drizzle on top.
I get breakfast syrup flavor. I don't get waffle flavor.
What's the difference?
I don't think there really is a difference.
They're both artificial, so. This one's milder.
Milder flavor. But yeah, they nailed the breakfast syrup.
It's sweeter to me.
It's not maple. It's not a maple flavor.
No.
It's breakfast syrup flavor.
Yeah.
It's like Aunt Jemima breakfast syrup flavor.
Very good stuck in your teeth.
Same chew, same texture.
I'll also give that a 6.
I'm gonna also give it an 8.5. So on my buy list. And since they are cereal bars,
Oh dear.
I got curious, and I'm going to make it actually and see how it tastes as a cereal.
Would
So
you
I
like
have
your-
my mini spoon and my mini bowl
And your mini
and
milk.
my mini milk. So let's see how it does as cereal.
Goodness me.
All right.
Anything for the YouTube, right?
Yep. Let's see if it actually does work as cereal.
Ah.
So I've actually mixed both the chocolate and the protein and the waffle in there. So we'll see here. Just get all the milk. All right. So try the chocolate first.
Better, worse? No
I think
different?
it's better.
Because it's
A
dry.
little soggy. Once you get it in there.
So you just pour the milk and it's already
Yeah.
soggy? So that
A little bit.
doesn't hold up very well.
It's still chewy.
This is like your favorite day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Best day at the office. Going in for the waffle.
Mm-hmm. So the waffle tastes like tastes like Golden Grams when it's mixed with milk, and the chocolate tastes like
Oreos.
there used to be a I think there was an Oreo cereal out there.
There still is.
There
It came
is
back.
It came back. Oh, they brought it back. It
Yeah.
tastes exactly like that. Whether it's better with milk, I like it better with milk. I think it's worth chopping up the bars and putting them in a bowl and putting milk over it.
But you have to put it in a baby container first, otherwise it just doesn't taste the same.
Yep.
It's all part of the process.
Anyway, that concludes Biter Bonk. So 2 buys for me on the.
I mean, for the macros, I would buy it again.
Okay.
But I mean, it's nothing fantastic. I mean, it's it's exactly the same kind of taste and texture as if you got one of those General Mills cereal bars.
Or Chewy bars.
Or Chewy bars.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
But with better macros.
depending on the price, we got them on sale, but if they're like $4, I wouldn't bother.
Yeah. I think if they're $1, go for it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're better off with a Chewy bar or a Rice Krispie treat. Anyway, that concludes Biter Bonk, and we'll be back in just a jiff with our part 3 and concluding the show with the Year of Fear. And here's part 3 of the Racing Mindcast, the Year of Fear. We already went into mine, going intuitive eating for a week. Morgan, what are you tackling?
I'm going to do, so, bit of a long story, but I will be doing stand-up paddleboarding. But
SUP.
SUP, yes. But the reason it's a fear is because I have to be in a swimsuit to do it. So this is a long-winded way of saying my fear of the week is being in a swimsuit in public.
Okay.
But, I also wanted to try stand-up paddleboard at the same time. So, two birds, one stone.
Awesome. So I will be also joining you on that. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a fear for me.
But it's also a date night.
But
so
it's
there
also
you
date
go.
night, so it's a 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, but it's definitely a fear of mine to just be in less than this much clothing in public. So.
Awesome. Well, that's going to go down on September the 11th, and we will give you a full report that week on how our Fear of the Week is doing. As always, you can check out our Year of Fear online at braveheartcanada.com. You can see all of our lists of what we're doing week by week. We haven't scheduled them quite yet. We do we sit down the week before and say, what are we going to be doing this week? And see what best fits our schedule, and then we go and tackle it.
And how much time we need to organize it, if it's something, out schedule-wise. Or, if it's seasonal, we might have to plan it a few weeks in advance, that kind of thing.
Couple months.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have fears that you are tackling or would like to see us tackle, let us know in the comments. Send us an email at braveheartcanada.com. As always, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you are listening via audio, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go to iTunes. Leave us a review. That definitely helps us. Constructive criticism always helps. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. And we will catch you next time. And until then, I love that part of the show. Don't forget to breathe.